Hello, Body and Messiah. This is Tasha. I'm coming to you today to share some more information with you guys. After the first video, I've received a lot of questions from my friends and some of my family members asking me, what's going on behind you? What is all this, the diagram or the chart, or what is this picture behind you? Today, I'm going to explain to you exactly what it is. It's what I call my biblical heritage chart. This biblical heritage chart is just based on information that I pull from the Torah. The Torah simply means the first 5 books of the Bible. I'm going to share with you how this biblical heritage chart that I mapped out is going to be used in a lot of the Bible study series, specifically like biblical racial reconciliation, even just us simply going through the Bible. We're going to see how these various people groups are related, how they lived amongst each other, and how the Word of God describes each of these people groups. So I'm going to try and pull you closer and give you a close-up of the first section of this biblical heritage chart. So just bear with me a second, okay? Okay. Let's see. All right. As you can see, this is the first section of this biblical heritage chart, where I map out the descendants of Noah and his wife, who are Ham, Shem, and Japheth. I got little indicators here at the top. Wherever you see S and D, I'm just making statement that as far as we know, it just says they fathered sons and daughters, but we may not know specifically the sons and the daughter's name, like you'll see right here for our Pakshai. Here, I put asterisk none for those where I don't see in the Bible, I haven't run across yet, rather, where they fathered any known children. So this first section of my biblical heritage chart specifically deals with Noah. And these are all of the descendants after the flood that we can link all people groups throughout the world to. So as we go through the books of the Bible, you will find something very interesting. You will see that the descendants of Ham and Shem dwelt among each other pretty often, and they kind of intermingled and intermarried with one another. They are very, those are the most important groups that you'll see mentioned in the first books of the Bible, specifically in Genesis throughout the Torah, the first 5 books. You really don't hear too much about Japheth until later on, after the 5 books of the Bible, specifically kind of before you get to the New Testament, some prophecies that are given regarding these groups, like Gomer, Magog, Tubal, Meshach. So for the beginning Bible lessons, you'll see we will discuss information like how, specifically for biblical racial reconciliation, how this group, Canaan, is cursed, to be slaves or what have you. And you'll see where the descendants of Israel are told to go in and defeat this group of people and overtake the land. So, but one thing that's very interesting that you'll find that I wasn't really aware of until I mapped this chart out and began to cover it, how these two groups of people really cohabitated for a long while with one another. And it'll be made so clear as we go through the charts and go through the Bible lessons. We're going to dispel some rumors that basically was started by Satan himself that try to lead you to believe that all these people groups are so divided and they hated one another and they couldn't dwell amongst each other. And that's not true. I mean, that's basically a lie from Satan where he tries to cause division among various groups of people. But we will destroy those rumors and destroy that information that Satan has placed out there to deceive so many people and to divide the body of Messiah on. Uh, the second section of my biblical heritage chart, the second and third rather, you'll see I'm going to try and turn the camera over so you can see a little bit of it. We'll deal with the descendants of Abraham, specifically. Okay. As you can see, we have Abraham and his 3 wives that he had. Many people are not, you don't hear them speak much about his 3rd wife, who he married and had children with after Sarah, who is Keturah. So we're going to cover and show the whole story, not just one section, but the whole story of Abraham and his children and their descendants. We'll also cover, of course, Isaac and then his 2 sons, Esau and Jacob, and their descendants. So as we go through, it's going to get a little complicated because, of course, as you can see, Esau and Jacob had multiple wives, and multiple children from those wives. And, it gets a little hectic trying to trace through who these different people groups that we know today or we've been taught in the Bible, who they're linked to, who they're related to. And so this chart will help clarify some information that we've been given and taught over the years. Now, you will notice one thing about this chart, it's not totally complete because this part was just totally confusing for me. And as we cover the stories of the Bible later on down the line, especially when we get to Genesis chapter 36, 25, you'll understand why I'm confused here. So the best I could do was take a wild guess as to why this information seems like it's not complete. Maybe you guys can write in or tell me whether or not you got a clearer understanding, but I did the best that I could as far as I'm capable of in pulling directly from the Word of God. As you will notice, okay, let me pull the camera back this way. Okay. Some more interesting things that I noticed in going through this biblical heritage chart. I never paid attention to where did Nimrod, for example. I never paid attention that he was a son of Cush. I never paid attention to the fact that the Philistines were a descendant of Mizraim, who are children of Ham. So things like that is just, to me, amazing that when I sit back and look at this chart, wow, these people came from the descendants of Ham, and as you know, the deception that Satan has given is that Ham is the father or the progenitor of the dark races or dark-skinned people, who are black-skinned or dark-skinned. And the lie that was told by Satan is that Ham is cursed and cursed to be a servant and all that stuff. But based on this chart, it totally shatters that lie. And you're going to see where we're faced with, do we choose what God's word says and to believe in it or to believe in man? So, and as you can see, Shem, who is basically a father of the lighter skin or brown skinned people, both of these people groups to me are black and brown people for the most part. And then you have Japheth, who, when you look at his descendants and the namings that are given for those descendants, you can link them to mostly the European, mostly white groups of people from Europe. So it's interesting. I'm telling you about it, Messiah. As we cover this stuff, you will see how clear the picture is that the divisions that Satan has caused, they're unnecessary. So as we go through and discuss and cover Bible study lessons, these charts are going to be very important because it's going to be laid out and a clear picture is going to be drawn as to, Either you believe the word of God for what it says, or you believe man. And you're going to be faced with the fact that, we have to worship God and we have to worship him honestly. Okay, body of Messiah. It looks like I'm running into 10 minutes on this video, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Like I said, we have to make a decision as we go through these Bible study lessons. Do we worship Adonai? Do we worship the Most High in spirit and in truth? You make the choice. Whatever we go through in these Bible study lessons that cause you internal conflict or burdens your spirit, I ask that you go before the Most High in prayer in your quiet time and talk it over with him. He loves you. He doesn't want anyone to perish or to suffer. So go to him as we go over these lessons. If you find yourself feeling distressed about some of these truths that we're going to share with you. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you'll join us again for many more. We love you guys and take it easy. Goodbye, body of Messiah.